So I pulled up to a Hillary Clinton speech in Denver.
Hillary Clinton, you are complicit in the genocide of the Palestinians! Fuck you! Free Palestine!
It went well.
Get your hands off me, punk! Don't fucking...
Democrat favorite and certified evil woman Hillary Clinton was here to shill her latest book, and I, Ronald Captain America McDonald, decided to make a guest appearance. This was all made possible by my friends at Colorado CD7 Watermelon, a grassroots political organization dedicated to fighting the Zog. I'm going to break down the events leading up to and following this disruption, explore the BlueMAGA phenomenon, and explain why we got attacked by a crowd of old white Hillary fanatics.
That's good. I like that better. All right.
Before we get into the clownish antics of this disruption, we must first establish why Hillary Clinton is complicit in genocide. So what makes Hillary Clinton complicit in the genocide in Gaza? We can prove her complicity with the following argument. 1. There is a genocide in Gaza. 2. Hillary Clinton does not recognize this fact. 3. Not recognizing this fact is equivalent to being complicit. Therefore, Hillary Clinton is complicit in genocide. Now we must ask, what evidence is there that a genocide is happening in Gaza? Genocide is defined in Article 2 of the 1948 Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide as any of the following acts intended to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. 1. Killing or causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. 2. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life intended to bring about the destruction of the group. As part of Israel's genocidal campaign of collective punishment against the Palestinian people, they have dropped over 25,000 tons of explosives on the Gaza Strip, the equivalent to 2 nuclear bombs, since the start of the war. Many of these bombs are dumb bombs that aren't even targeted towards specific members of Hamas. They are simply thrown at random to level entire neighborhoods of civilians. A joint report by the International Human Rights Clinic of Boston University School of Law, the International Human Rights Clinic of Cornell Law School, and the Human Rights Project at Yale Law School has found that Israel has clear intent to destroy, in whole or in part, the Palestinian people. According to the report, officials at all levels of the Israeli government, up to and including the Prime Minister, have made remarks that not only express blatant and unequivocal dehumanization and cruelty against Palestinians in Gaza and elsewhere, but also explicitly reflect intentions to destroy and exterminate Palestinians as such. The pattern of conduct of Israeli military forces in Gaza further reinforced the findings of Israel's genocidal intent, including widespread acts of Israeli soldiers summarily executing Palestinian civilians, often in front of their families. The genocide in Gaza is undeniable. But instead of using her platform to rally against this genocide, Hillary has refused to speak up against it. Instead, in a recent MSNBC interview, Hillary Clinton accused Columbia students and others protesting this genocide of historical ignorance. According to her, us young people don't know very much at all about the history of the Middle East, or frankly about history in general. Hillary Clinton also claimed to be not shocked by the casualties in Gaza, because quote-unquote, that's what happens in war. The deliberate murder of thousands of civilians is not what happens in war, it is what happens in genocide. Given Clinton's previous track record of supporting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, these comments are not surprising. It was clear to me and my comrades at Colorado CD7 Watermelon that Hillary Clinton was complicit in genocide. And when they called me up at 6 p.m. the night of the speech informing me that they had a ticket, I knew exactly what I needed to say. I had never met my partner in this disruption before, and had only spoken to him on the phone once 15 minutes prior. In an article he wrote about the disruption, he described being thrown to the ground by a Clinton superfan to the sound of a roaring crowd, then threatened with being taken by the Secret Service. I knew I needed to meet my partner in this disruption again, and pick his brain on how this whole darn thing went down.
One step beyond.
So what's your name, and what are any affiliations you'd like to mention?
My name is Eric. My last name is a name. I am affiliated with a local community aid and Palestine support group called CD7 Watermelon. And I guess this is relevant to say I am also a Jewish American.
I'm the Joker, baby. Why are we interviewing you?
Last week, there was a disruption at a Hillary Clinton book shilling event in Denver. Luckily, we were able to attend. It went well. When we entered, dressed thusly, there was a moment where we decided that something we had to say was a little more important. Amid the current political climate, it has, come to our attention that there are people that don't care what the people think. On the day of this book promotion event, we found out that we could go. And Hillary Clinton's a legend. She's an icon, a hero to some, a villain to others, a villain to more, probably way, way, way more. It seemed like a great opportunity to speak directly to someone that actually is in a position of power.
I want to do a quick rundown of the reaction of the crowd. As we both know, they got very violent, kind of on that BlueMAGA shit.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
While I have seen things happen at other events, I wasn't particularly prepared for that from a high-profile, large room, very security-protected liberal event. What it seemed like happened was a flip switched in the crowd. They wanted to hear the speaker speak. They wanted Hillary Clinton to be the hero that they have on their wall wearing an American flag cape. Shattering that illusion for even just a couple seconds seemed to break their brains. Because I don't know if ever in my life I have seen anyone so filled with blind rage in their eyes. Not security, not the ushers, not the staff or the Secret Service or the police, but just white male members of the crowd who want their safe space, and we invaded their safe space, and they made us leave by force.
Got a little triggered when we interrupted their safe space, huh?
I think we may have triggered the libs. Traditionally, that might come from the right. I think it is now extremely appropriate for it to also come from the left. And after seeing this, I will never, ever think of vote blue no matter who Democrats ever again.
That's what I'm talking about. Anti-centrists triggering the libs. From your perspective, why do you think they assaulted you?
I think that a lot of the crowd, maybe the entire crowd, by their reaction, because besides the handful of people who actually got handsy and got violent, the entire crowd was emotionally violent. They were very upset that we had shattered their grand illusion of this, scion of peacemaking and Western supremacy and white pride and greatness. They felt like any little nick in their armor was going to make the whole castle fall down, and that they couldn't allow it for a second. They were just instantly triggered. They saw red, as if I was breaking into their home and trying to take their American flag. It was maybe something that none of them have experienced before. Maybe they haven't been pressed or questioned, and they reacted like a child on a schoolyard playground who didn't get the ball.
Shame. All right. Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you.
I'm the Joker, baby!
Wait, don't stop the video yet. Don't stop.
Where am I? Let's explain what's going on here. Well, it seems pretty evident that something important is happening here. I mean, these people who have declared their moral superiority to the violent, evil Trumpists have committed the same kind of violence that they hate so much. I mean, were they just annoyed? Was it just those few people who confronted them who were the bad ones? I mean, no, not really. You could hear the whole crowd roar. They wanted this violence too. So, why be so violent for someone protesting a genocide? It's cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, as many of you well know, is the mental disturbance from information that conflicts with something you already believe. The important point is that this information must be integrated with your beliefs, made whole somehow, incorporated, changed, ignored, whatever is necessary to remove the dissonance. The war in Gaza is clearly a contentious issue, and there's clear evidence of what's happening there. Giving Hillary fans the benefit of the doubt that they're not just racist, they probably refuse to acknowledge the plight of the Palestinians because it conflicts with their image of America. They think that sure, the US has problems, but we wouldn't send money, weapons, intelligence to a government run by a warmongering lunatic. So they think that reports must be mistaken, or that they really don't show a genocide. Still, this doesn't explain why they got so mad. After all, it was Hillary Clinton the clown called complicit in genocide, not the crowd next to them. I mean, why even Hillary Clinton? She hasn't had any real power in years, just money and influence. It's because of what she represents. As a paragon of these dissonant beliefs, the people in that room already agreed with her. They weren't even there because of who she is, or what she's done, or whatever stupid book she's shilling, but because she says what they already believe. The attack on Hillary was an indirect attack on them, as they saw their political beliefs in her, rather than it being explicitly about Clinton's denial of the genocide in Palestine. There wasn't even a chance to not be assaulted in this crowd. The belief that there is a genocide in Palestine was too much for them. Even so, why react so violently, like they're in some kind of cult, incapable of accepting basic criticism and disruption? Without knowing the specific crowd, I can only make speculation. I would suspect, as Eric pointed out, that these people probably have never experienced something like this. Hillary Clinton and her ilk see themselves as the establishment. Trump supporters have gotten used to having people protest their beliefs. without acknowledging what that means or why they might be so disliked, it's something that they deal with regularly. These people, on the other hand, think that they're paragons of virtue, that they're for democracy and development. The mere insinuation that they're in bed with right-wingers that they rightly accuse of being pro-genocide is simply too much to handle. So they see Hillary Clinton being ridiculed and they go, hey, wait, that's what I believe, and I'm not bad, and by extension, Hillary's not bad, and these guys, they're not attacking her, they're attacking me! Thus, we have the BlueMAGA crowd. These old fucking white people, in line with their lizard mommy, support progressive politics and sustainable government by unquestionably supporting pro-American and pro-Israeli politics with a tinge of giving handouts to the poor. So, as a logical consequence of their need to end this dissonant disruption, to support their golden morality, old white Dems had to assault our friends. They now complete their metamorphosis into the BlueMAGA crowd. I want to see how dumb this video is.
All right. Thank you for that analysis, Mr. Peter.
Can I go home yet?
No. You can do your part to support the fight against these BlueMAGA fascists by going to your local Hillary event and yelling right at that clown. Or any of the fucking neoliberal Dems, really. Also, please consider donating to Omar, our deaf Palestinian friend. The GoFundMe link is in the description. You can literally help save a life with just the price for a cup of coffee.
You should do that. Also, please contact the police. I haven't been out of this room in days.